10 everyday habits that enlarge your prostate and how to fix them naturally. Have you ever felt like you're visiting the bathroom just a little too often these days? Maybe you wake up 2, 3, even 4 times during the night just to go. You think it's normal, it comes with age, right? But here's the truth. While some changes in our bodies are part of growing older, many of the annoying symptoms we accept, like frequent urination, discomfort, or that sense of always needing to go, could be signs that your prostate isn't as healthy as it should be. And the most surprising part? A lot of it has to do with everyday habits we don't even think twice about. I'm not talking about anything extreme here, just simple things, how we sit, what we drink, even how often we move around. These small choices, repeated daily, can slowly cause the prostate to swell. Over time, that can lead to serious issues like benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH for short, a condition where the prostate grows larger and starts pressing on the urethra, making bathroom trips more frequent and frustrating. But here's the good news. Once you know what to look out for, you can start making changes. And they don't have to be complicated. Today, we're going to have a heart-to-heart about 10 common habits that can silently contribute to prostate enlargement and how you can start turning things around, one step at a time. Let's start with one that might sound innocent, but can quietly wreak havoc over the years, sitting for too long. I know what you might be thinking. Well, of course I sit, I've earned it. After decades of working, raising a family, and doing everything under the sun, now is your time to slow down. And yes, rest is important. But long hours of sitting, especially without breaks, put pressure on the pelvic area and limit blood flow to the prostate. It's like keeping a sponge tightly pressed down all day. It never gets a chance to bounce back. Even sitting in a recliner, watching your favorite show or reading the newspaper can add up if it becomes the default for most of the day. When we don't move much, circulation in the lower body decreases, and that lack of movement encourages inflammation. And inflammation? That's fuel for prostate enlargement. But don't worry, you don't need to start training for a marathon. Something as simple as standing up and stretching every 30 to 45 minutes, taking a slow walk around the house, or even doing a few gentle knee lifts while seated can make a big difference. Just remind your body, hey, I haven't forgotten about you down there. Now let's talk about a big one, your daily drink choices. I'm talking about caffeine and alcohol. That morning, cup of coffee and the occasional glass of wine in the evening, they might seem harmless, even comforting. But both caffeine and alcohol are diuretics, meaning they increase urine production and irritate the bladder. And when the bladder's irritated, the prostate can feel the effects too, especially if it's already starting to swell. Think of it like poking a sensitive bruise over and over again. Over time, it only gets worse. And it's not just about how often you go. These drinks can also make it harder to fully empty the bladder. That leftover urine increases the risk of infections and puts even more pressure on your prostate, which is already working overtime to keep up. Now, I'm not saying you have to cut out coffee or wine completely, but moderation really is your best friend here. Try switching to herbal teas a few times a week. Chamomile, for instance, is calming and gentle on the bladder. And if you're craving something warm, even a mug of hot water with a squeeze of lemon can give you that same comfort without the side effects. Let's move on to something that's often overlooked, not drinking enough water. I know after I just told you to go easy on liquids that make you pee, it may sound confusing, but here's the difference. Water helps your body flush out toxins. When we don't drink enough, our urine becomes concentrated, and that irritates the urinary tract. And irritated tissues lead to, you guessed it, inflammation, and the prostate is already sensitive to inflammation. So what's the sweet spot? Aim for about 6 to 8 glasses of water a day. If you're not used to that, start slowly. Add an extra glass here and there, especially earlier in the day, so you're not running to the bathroom all night. And pay attention to your urine color. It should be pale yellow. That's your body's way of saying, I am hydrated and happy. If it's dark, that's a little nudge to up your intake. Now this next one might catch you off guard. It's something we all do when life gets busy, or when we're out and about holding in your urine for too long. You're running errands, or maybe you're out for a walk and think, I'll wait until I get home. But when you regularly delay bathroom trips, the bladder stretches beyond its normal comfort zone. That creates tension between the bladder and prostate, and over time, that tension encourages the prostate to grow larger just to keep up with the demand. Try to get into the habit of listening to your body. When you feel the need to go, go. Don't wait. It's not about being fussy, it's about keeping the plumbing system running smoothly. So far, we've looked at habits that many of us fall into without even noticing. Sitting too long, drinking too much caffeine or alcohol, not drinking enough water, and holding it in when nature calls. They seem small, but like little drops of water on a rock, they add up over time. And the result? An enlarged prostate that can quietly interfere with your sleep, your comfort, even your confidence. But the beauty of this conversation is it's never too late to start making changes. Now, before we dive in, if you're new here and haven't subscribed yet, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. We're on a mission to bring you science-backed, practical health tips like this every day, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Let's keep going, because the next habits are just as important, and even more common. One habit that often flies under the radar but can quietly take a toll on your prostate is a poor diet, especially one high in red meat and processed foods. Now, I'm not saying you need to go vegan or give up your favorite Sunday roast, but the truth is, diets loaded with fatty meats, fried snacks, and processed meals create a breeding ground for inflammation in the body. And when inflammation takes hold, the prostate is often one of the first places to feel the heat. Think of your prostate like a small sponge tucked right near your bladder. It thrives when your blood is clean and your nutrients are rich. But when your diet's full of saturated fats, preservatives, and salt, that sponge starts to swell, harden, and get less flexible. It's like feeding it sludge instead of fresh, clean water. So what can you do? Try tipping the scale toward more plant-based options, fresh vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and healthy fats like olive oil. Even small changes like swapping sausage for grilled chicken or adding a handful of leafy greens to your plate can begin to shift things in the right direction. And don't underestimate the power of tomatoes. They're rich in lycopene, a natural antioxidant that's been shown to support prostate health. A few slices in your salad, some tomato soup, or even a splash of low-sodium tomato juice can go a long way. Let's take a moment to talk about stress, because this one hits deeper than most people realize. Stress doesn't just affect your mood, it triggers physical reactions all over the body. When you're tense, your muscles tighten, your blood pressure rises, and your immune system gets thrown off balance. Over time, that tension and imbalance create inflammation, and as we've talked about, inflammation is one of the key drivers of prostate enlargement. But here's the tricky part. Stress at this stage of life often hides in plain sight. Maybe it's worry over finances, or frustration when family doesn't visit as much, or even just the feeling of slowing down, of not being as sharp or strong as you once were. All of that builds up inside, often without an outlet, and guess what? The prostate responds to that internal pressure. You might not feel it right away, but those nighttime bathroom trips, that sluggish stream, that pressure down there, it can all be made worse by chronic stress. So what can you do about it? Start small. Give yourself permission to breathe deep, full, slow breaths when you're feeling tense. Try journaling, even if it's just writing down one thing you're grateful for each morning. Take walks where you notice the sounds around you. These are simple, powerful ways to tell your nervous system, it's okay, you're safe. And when your body hears that message, your prostate hears it too. Now, let's turn to something a little more surprising. Ignoring constipation. Yes, constipation. It's more connected to your prostate than you might think. When your bowels are backed up, all that extra pressure builds in your lower abdomen and presses directly against the prostate and bladder. Over time, that pressure can irritate the tissues and worsen enlargement symptoms like urinary urgency or straining. And let's be honest, many people just live with it. They think it's not that bad or it'll pass. But when constipation becomes frequent, your whole digestive and urinary systems get tangled up in one uncomfortable mess. The fix? Focus on fiber. Whole fruits, vegetables, oats, beans. All of these keep things moving. Stay hydrated, keep your body active, and don't ignore the urge to go. If you're struggling even with these changes, talk to your doctor about gentle options that won't interfere with your other medications. Another quiet culprit we often don't associate with prostate health is a lack of intimacy or sexual activity. This one's a bit more personal, but it matters. The prostate plays a role in sexual function, and regular activity helps the prostate stay healthy. It encourages proper fluid movement, supports muscle tone, and may even reduce inflammation over time. It's like giving the engine a chance to run smoothly instead of letting it sit and rust. Now, of course, this is different for everyone. Health conditions, medications, and personal feelings all come into play. But if it's something that feels right and safe for you, don't be afraid to embrace it. There's nothing shameful about keeping that part of your body engaged. It's just another piece of staying well. And while we're on the subject of wellness, it's important to look at how poor sleep habits contribute to prostate trouble. It's a bit of a cycle. Your prostate wakes you up at night to use the bathroom, and then not getting enough rest makes your body more prone to inflammation, which in turn worsens your prostate symptoms. If you're tossing and turning, try creating a nighttime ritual. Avoid heavy meals before bed, limit screens late at night, and keep your room dark and quiet. Even using a white noise machine or a fan can help settle your mind. A well-rested body heals better. And when your body's healing, your prostate isn't under as much strain. All of these habits, what we eat, how we move, how we sleep, and even how we manage our emotions, are deeply connected. The good news? None of them require drastic change. You don't need to flip your life upside down. You just need to start paying attention with a little curiosity and a lot of kindness toward yourself. Because here's the truth. You've carried yourself through a lot in life. You've pushed through hard times, raised families, made sacrifices. Your body deserves to feel good. You deserve to feel in control of your health, not like you're being ruled by your bladder or nagged by discomfort. And it all begins with awareness of the habits we've formed and the simple steps we can take to support the prostate and the entire body it's connected to. Let's keep going, because there are just a few more key habits that are worth talking about, ones that, once understood, can make all the difference. One more habit that slips by without much thought but plays a bigger role than most people realize is ignoring regular exercise. You don't need to be lifting weights or jogging 5 miles a day to make a difference. In fact, it's the simple, gentle, consistent movements that your body loves most, especially your prostate. When you live a mostly sedentary life, blood flow slows, muscles weaken, and pressure builds in the pelvic region. But when you move, even if it's just a 20-minute walk around the block or some light stretching in your living room, you help the body circulate nutrients, drain excess fluids, and reduce inflammation. All of this lowers the risk of the prostate becoming swollen and overactive. Exercise also helps balance your hormones, especially testosterone and estrogen, which both influence prostate growth. And here's the kicker. Regular movement also helps you sleep better, handle stress more calmly, and keep your digestion on track. It's like flipping several switches at once to support not just your prostate, but your overall health. If you're not sure where to start, just start small. March in place during commercial breaks, do some slow leg lifts while seated, or walk with a friend. Conversation makes the time fly. It doesn't have to be intense, just needs to be regular. And while we're on the topic of balance, let's talk about ignoring annual checkups, especially prostate screenings. Many people avoid the doctor unless something feels seriously wrong. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's just the hassle. But here's the thing, prostate enlargement, especially in its early stages, often doesn't cause dramatic symptoms. It sneaks up on you. One day, you're waking up once in the night. A few months later, it's 3 or 4 times. Then you're suddenly planning your day around bathroom access. Regular screenings like a PSA test or digital rectal exam are simple and fast, and they can catch changes early when they're much easier to manage or even reverse. Skipping these appointments might feel harmless, but it's like ignoring your car's oil light and hoping for the best. You don't want to wait until the engine seizes. Prostate problems are incredibly common, especially after age 60, but they're also incredibly manageable when caught early. And by staying ahead of them, you're not just adding years to your life, you're adding comfort and control to the years you already have. So if it's been a while since your last checkup, make the call. You're not doing it out of fear, you're doing it because you respect your body, and you're investing in a future that feels good. When you step back and look at these habits, sitting too long, drinking too much caffeine or alcohol, eating the wrong foods, holding in urine, neglecting hydration, ignoring stress, skipping exercise, avoiding intimacy, dealing with constipation and putting off doctor visits, they might seem small on their own, but together they shape the environment your prostate lives in. And here's the empowering part. Every single one of them is within your control. You don't have to fix everything overnight. Just start with one small shift. Replace that second cup of coffee with water. Stand up and stretch once an hour. Add an extra serving of vegetables to your dinner. These small choices done consistently are what real change looks like. If you've been dealing with frequent bathroom trips, restless nights, or that nagging feeling of discomfort down there, don't ignore it. You're not alone, and there is something you can do. Your body may be aging, but that doesn't mean it has to feel like it's falling apart. Not when you take the time to understand it, not when you treat it with care. You've made it this far in life, through storms and sunshine, through tough years and tender ones. This chapter can be one of the strongest yet, and taking care of your prostate is just one more way to protect your comfort, your dignity, and your independence. I'd love to know, have you noticed any of these habits in your own routine? Or have you made a change that helped you feel better? Let's support one another in the comments. Share your experience, it might just help someone else feel a little less alone. If this video helped you in any way, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It really does help more people find this kind of helpful, honest information. And if you'd like more content that makes health feel less scary and more doable, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss an update. You deserve to feel strong. You deserve restful nights and peaceful days. And you deserve a body that supports the life you still have so much to live. Here's to good health, to small wins, and to living your best life at any age.